Raghav from Otsneba. This is the Rorschach, Georgia update from the 20th of June, 2024. Quick summary of what's going down in Georgia. Start out this episode on Monday the 17th. President Mezvrishvili vetoed changes to the election code, saying that they were not compatible with fair elections. Changes would alter how members of the election commission are selected, giving up more power to, you guessed it, Chester, the ruling party, Otsneba. President Mezvrishvili implied that this makes it easier for the ruling party to control the election results, which is, of course, exactly what it means and was the intent. Also on domestic politics, Nadia Mezvrishvili slammed Georgian Dream, or Otsneba, for what it has done to the judicial system. She criticized the ruling party for appointing judges based on political loyalty rather than merit, interfering with ongoing investigations, and pressuring legal institutions to make decisions that favor the government. Mezvrishvili called for a return to constitutional order, accusing Otsneba of compromising the independence of the judicial system and other legal institutions. On Thursday the 13th, the U.S. condemned the elections in Russian-occupied Tskhinvali region, or South Ossetia, and said that it did not recognize them, showing support for Georgia's territorial integrity. Meanwhile, a Russian court called Georgian Legion, which has been fighting against Russian forces in Ukraine since 2014, a terrorist organization, adding to strained relations between Russia and Georgia. On Monday the 17th, Prime Minister Irakli announced teachers' salaries will rise by 500 Georgian lari, which is about $180 US, in July. Stated reason for the increase is meant to motivate teachers and improve educational outcomes. However, teachers in Georgia have been earning pretty low salaries. The raise, though helpful, is not a giant boost. Surveys indicate that many teachers feel that Otsneba is trying to buy their votes before the election rather than making meaningful changes to their compensation. Same day, Prime Minister Irakli kicked off a big highway project linking East and West Georgia. The new road aims to cut down on time travel and improve trade routes, helping both local businesses and international trade. However, the construction has faced delays and budget overruns, sparking discussions about project management and funding. And yet another story about Garibashvili. He was criticized after congratulating Georgia's Muslim citizens on the celebration of Eid al-Adha. Some members of the community in interviews expressed may not be the time to celebrate, taking into account political challenges the country is facing, such as the Russian law and Georgia's EU candidate member status going down the tubes. On Thursday the 13th, the National Bank of Georgia announced that it will keep its monetary policy rate at 8%. The decision aims to maintain financial stability and control inflation. State the rate is crucial for the country's economic environment, influencing lending rates and overall economic growth. On Tuesday, the 18th, the Georgia National Tourism Administration, or GNTA, announced that the mandatory health and accident insurance for tourists that we've mentioned in previous episodes will be postponed until the 1st of January 2026. Delay gives more time to the private sector to adopt the new regulations, which aims to ensure that tourists have access to necessary medical care and protection during their stay, and also to embassies and consulates to properly inform incoming tourists about the new requirements. Also, on the topic of Georgia's National Tourism Administration, it has launched a new project to enhance tourism infrastructure. The initiative will focus on improving tourism facilities, developing new attractions. The project is part of GNTA's broader strategy to stimulate tourism and promote economic growth. On Monday the 17th, an investigation was launched into damages to a central pipeline near Tskhinvali. The damage was caused by significant disruption affecting gas supplies to nearby regions. Authorities are working to determine the cause of the damage and ensure repairs are completed quickly to restore normal service. More positive note regarding service, Georgian Water and Power announced that their water quality fully complies with established norms and is safe to drink on Monday the 17th. Woohoo! However, all great news, because on the same day, the company also mentioned that water pipe maintenance in Tbilisi, which left half the city with no drinking water, would take several days to complete. On Thursday the 13th, an earthquake hit Georgia approximately 3:30 a.m., causing significant damage in some areas. Sadly, part of the village of Dvoraki was destroyed, but fortunately there are no victims. Earthquake measured almost 4 on the Richter scale, shaking buildings and causing widespread concern. Emergency services responded quickly. Authorities are now assessing the full extent of damage and coordinating efforts to provide aid, including temporary housing, essential supplies to those affected. Geologists are also monitoring the area for potential aftershocks. On the same day, an emergency alert in Dvorak due to high risk of landslides in the area led to immediate evacuation and traffic restrictions. Residents were safely evacuated. Traffic was restricted to ensure public safety while experts assess the situation and mitigate potential hazard. Kazbegi checkpoint was temporarily suspended due to safety concerns linked to the emergency alert. Checkpoint closure affects cross-border movement, and authorities have advised travelers to seek alternative routes until the situation stabilizes to ensure the safety of all travelers and personnel. On Monday the 17th, an explosion occurred on Bochormi Street in Tbilisi, causing substantial damage to nearby buildings and injuring several people. Preliminary reports suggest it was caused by a gas leak. Investigation is ongoing to determine the exact cause. On Thursday the 13th, Georgia's agriculture minister announced that blueberry exports are expected to double this year. Boost is due to increased production and improved farming practices. Closing off this edition with some entertainment news, on Saturday the 17th, the Gemo Fest kicked off in Imereti, featuring a variety of cultural events and activities, showcases local art, music, food, aimed at promoting the region's cultural heritage and attract tourists. Next up, Ethno Georgia 2024 took place in the village of Shilda in Kakheti. The festival celebrated traditional martial arts from various countries, including Italy, Japan, Kazakhstan, and Norway. The event featured demonstrations of ancient combat techniques, highlighted historical and cultural connections between Georgia and these countries. The festival had a mix of cultural performances, including folk singing, dance, and a concert. On Thursday the 13th, Tbilisi Mayor Kachi Kaladze announced that the Georgia national football team match in Euro 2024 tournament at the Mikhail Mesky Stadium will be broadcast. This is the first time that the national team has played in the EU Championship, and everybody's watching. And that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us. Listen, we have an unusual question for you. Have you ever had to choose a restaurant or go to a movie and pick which one with a group of friends or family? And it was not very easy to choose. It took a while, a lot of messaging back and forth, difficult, a bit unpleasant, a little divisive. Rorschach is working on a way to make that much easier. If you're interested, we could use your help. Take a very, very quick survey. If you want to help out, let us know at info@rorschach.com. And thanks.